guys.
Okay, so if this is the regular time,
Okay.
and you're gonna play music here, what would be like 5 songs that you would probably play right now?
Okay. I think that I would play music by like Dorian Electra, who I've been obsessed with for a while. Probably music from the new Perfume Genius album. I don't think that the new Fiona Apple album is for the club kids, but that's what I've been listening to.
But see, this is the thing. So with the Mixtape Menage, the idea is that when you play it, you play whatever you normally listen to. So it cannot be something organized for a club. It has to be just simply whatever you're listening to.
Oh, got it. Then yeah. Okay.
So Fiona
Apple.
Yeah.
Dorian Electra as always. Perfume Genius. I found out about this woman called Connie Converse, who is this woman. It's crazy. Okay. So this woman from she was born in 1929, and she was from, I think, Michigan, and she has been missing for 65 years. And so in 2011, someone unearthed like a bunch of her recordings and put out an album. And it sounds very like Joni Mitchell or like Judy Sill kind of stuff. And like, so this woman just like apparently left in a car and no one's ever seen her again. But she like was this folk singer.
I would read that book.
Right? So people are still trying to like figure out where she is.
And her name was Connie Converse.
Yeah, which sounds like a new age like indie girl band, but whatever.
Yeah. Is that one of those things where like I would like initially I would think that that's maybe a scam that somebody made up.
True.
I mean, because
it sounds like Converse? A Colleen Green kind of adjacent thing, like these, indie darling women who like are from LA and like do these cute rhyming names and then do mediocre indie girl band music.
But I'm trying to think of like when is it that Converse became like the shoes to wear?
Oh, well, I'm assuming they were quite popular because they like came to popularity in like the 40s, right? Or the 50s.
I honestly have absolutely no idea about anything related to any area of like fashion.
But a Converse is also not just a shoe. It's another thing that I don't know what that is. It's a math term.
Oh, well.
Or science. It's a math and science term. The converse of a number. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That part, I know. I'm just talking about like the converse. Oh.
So it might not just be after a shoe.
Oh.
Okay,
yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
So she was trying to be a bit more psychedelic, potentially.
Yeah.
So like an early 70s math, rocky, folky.
Yeah, she kind of looked like Daria. Like
I love Daria.
Me too.
I love Daria.
I was her for Halloween for forever. What?
Did you see that? Tracy Ellis Ross was supposed to be making like a new, not Daria, but based on like Daria's friend.
Oh, what's her name?
Maxine.
It's not her.
It's a comic.
No, Maxine. No, it was someone. That's not her name.
I can't remember.
But anyway. That's amazing.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm actually like waiting for that.
I'm gonna look for that. And then I think, what else have I been listening to? Okay, Connie Converse, Fiona Apple, Dorian Electra, Perfume Genius. Oh, I always also like once a month will listen to the Postal Service album Give Up. I'd still like well, because my friend Cameron and I have a podcast called Friends and Girls.
Okay.
And it's a podcast all about pop punk and emo nostalgia. And so we have covered Blink-182. We do it by album. So we've covered like Blink-182's Enema of the State. We did Newfound Glory. We've done Paramore. We've done Brand New. This week we're doing Say Anything. And it's all just like about the bands. And it's very fun. And then what was last week's? Oh, AFI. And then we always talk about a band that we're listening to that's not like just a white guy. So like anyone but, because everyone in pop punk is just white dudes. And so
yeah,
we always list someone who's either like a minority, queer, a woman, anything but just like a white dude who's wearing like, a band tee, aka me. But whatever. So we get to list, and also Cameron's like a music critic and he's written for like Pitchfork and stuff. And so he always knows like a ton about things, about everything. And so his music recommendations are always good. But it's been really fun doing that podcast because it's all this music that I'm like, I I'm such a nerd for liking this, and I'm so ashamed. And then I meet Cameron, and he's like, no, everyone likes this music still. They just don't want to admit it. And it's been very nice.
And thus you are validated.
I felt so valid. It was so nice.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, another standard Mixtape Menage question that everybody has to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's somebody that gave a spoiler earlier. What's a song or a band? What's a song that you loved when you were younger?
Yeah.
That you would be embarrassed to admit now?
So, okay. So, in that same vein, doing this podcast all about pop, punk, and emo music has been really great for my confidence because it's all these bands are who I would have mentioned later where I'm like, I don't know all the lyrics to that song. Yeah. It's mine. But like for real, like I'd say like Good Charlotte or Avril Lavigne or Simple Plan or like any of these bands that I was listening to when I was like 12 years old.
Okay.
Green Day, that I would be like normally be like, I'm so cool, like I don't listen to them anymore. Now I have an excuse to listen to them, and I'm not ashamed.
Yeah, except I'm not sure about like Good Charlotte, but
they're not great. No, I love them. They're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. Okay, just to I was bringing this up because normally whenever I ask this question, people ask, and then it becomes sort of like I always have like the same response typically. And so when you said that, it actually brought up something else in my mind.
What is the same response usually?
It's usually Joski loves the girls they like Joe. That was the song that I used to like love when I was like super young. Like yeah, that was just my shit for like I don't know why.
Why can't it still be your shit?
It's basically the whole song is just like this guy being like, the girls, they like Joe. We like Joe. You know, they love Joe. We like Joe.
You're like...
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty much it was like 9-year-old Elias was like loving that shit. Yeah. But when you're bringing up like these older like pop punks, I figured out, which thank you again. Another one I can add to that repertoire. But you can't tell anybody though. Okay.
Well, you're on a podcast, so you might not want to tell me, but your secrets.
Promises. Okay. I actually used to own the album, I think it was called Buddha.
Oh, by Blink-182. Yeah. That was their, so they've now put that into the canon of Blink-182. It used to just be a demo, and now it's actually listed in their normal album count.
Yeah, I know.
I know you didn't ask that, but
no, I think they did that like quite some time ago though.
I think that was like 1997.
Yeah, and that
a long time.
Actually, I got it in like 99.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's not.
Well,
no, you're right. You're right.
I mean, I still like this music. There's nothing I love more than biking around Berlin listening to Blink-182. That's it. That's my idea of happiness. That's all I've ever wanted.
I do have to admit that the sort of like biking around and listening to music really is like appealing at the moment.
Yeah.
Like when you had like when you told me the thing about the headphones. Yeah, I think I need to do that.
It's so nice. I also just have a speaker and I will like blast music from my speaker and my roommate's like, stop.
Yo, because this is the thing though. Like this is what I used to like love like in the US, which was just sometimes just driving around and listening to music. I hated driving and having to go somewhere.
No, but like, I love singing alone so that no one can hear the sounds that I make. Because it's like a banshee. But I'm like so excited to just be going down the freeway like singing like Jeff Buckley sobbing. And then no one, especially at night, because no one can see you while you drive and bellow. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're the one that's talking. What do you mean interrupted?
I'm just trying to be polite.
Don't be. You're good.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I guess just so that it's not like too long. Is there anything that you want to notify everybody about before signing off? or any like Jill news, or do you have like any words of wisdom that you wish to impart upon the masses?
If you want to learn how to podcast, call me. And if you if you work at a company that has money that wants to learn how to podcast, call me, please.
Yeah. First,
we're great, I promise, and we're fun. Thanks, bye.
So fun. Yo, okay. Now this reminds me. Yo, did y'all see the thing with like Ja Rule?
What?
The one where like Ja Rule is kind of
You mean
like
Fire Festival?
it was so after Fire Festival. Apparently, he did like some sort of commercial for like some sort of like local like thing or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yo,
Because that's the only one that would take him. Because didn't he get booed at a show later than that? Like after that?
To be honest, when somebody even says Ja Rule to me, even back then, when he was like the thing, I booed in my mind. So yeah.
You were laying low though. You didn't want people to think you were lame because you didn't like Ja Rule.
J Rule.
J Rule.
I know. I used to say it much louder then. It's just that now I'm trying to be respectful of other people's musical taste.
Quote unquote.
Not exactly.
Wait, he was in a local.
Okay, yo. Okay.
What was he in a local commercial for?
Euros. Yo, you got to see this. You got to see that.
It has 7.2 thousand views, reader. Do you think Ja Rule is very much in debt after Fire Festival and he had to do this? That looks good, though.
I'm gonna say that 50 Cent got a hold of that. Roasted him.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm sure he did.
Oh, he roasted him, man. You know what? No Life Shack keeps calling him. He used to go in, No Life Shack.
No.
No.
Shake Shack?
He's a guy that he just reacts to a lot of music. And every time somebody gets murdered on a song, he's like, "Hey, Ja Rule, you got company." So, they're gonna be calling him pretty soon. They're gonna react.
Amazing.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Actually, did you see this already though?
No. I'm gonna put it on my to watch list here in a second. So what's
Yum.
Ja Rule one?
So what now?
You said Ja Rule one?
Yeah, he did like a commercial for like a Greek restaurant somewhere.
Oh, Papa Christos Creek.
Yeah.
No way. Wow. 66,000 views.
Yeah. But
No
yo,
Life Shack already did it. All right, Ja Rule escaped and gave us our first ever mumble rapper song.
not sure.
Jesus.
Lol.
But thank you for taking the time to actually come down here.
Of course. Thank you for having
and
me.
come down to like the dungeon.
I'm AKA Kreutzberg. I live
Yeah.
up in Bedding and I very rarely leave my house. So thank you for having me.
It gives you a chance to like listen to like Blink-182.
It's
82.
true. I literally did on the way. I'm not kidding.
What was the last song you listened to before you took them off?
The last song that I was listening to before I started listening to a podcast midway through called Ask Rana, and it's an advice podcast from this lady with a Boston accent.
Oh, okay. I was gonna try and ask you to sing like a Blink-182 song.
Oh my God, please don't. 'Cause I'm telling you, I sound like I'm dying. You're laughing.
I'm laughing because I can't sing either, and people used to tell me that I sound like a frog with a cold.
Lol.
And then when I was in the army, I had a sergeant that one time told me, "You can't carry a tune in a bucket."
Same.
Hey, I feel you.
I've shut down karaoke bars. No kidding. They're like, we're good. But yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Woo.
And I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. We're
Yeah.
both like,
Yeah.
movement.
How do you do this?
Hi.
Should we do like a Corona friendly one?
Air hug. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know.
Hey, you know what you need to do? That Demolition Man high five.
That's this.
Yes.
Wax on.
Wax off.
Wax off.
Oh,
Ooh,
actually, I forgot about that.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen it in like years. I mean, I guess that's not something you, look for in the Criterion collection. But still, it was actually like really good, and it feels like it was very relevant somehow. Like as the more time goes by, the more I feel like Demolition Man is like very, very.
Very 1984.
Yeah, kinda.
Relevant.
Very
Yeah, relevant. Yeah,
Poignant.
that's it. Exactly, relevant. Thank you. English working. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it was because what was it? It was like Taco Bell like outlasted all the restaurant wars.
I feel like
And
you've
so,
been
like,
mentioning various Mexican food things.
No, I mean and
Oh,
in the movie
in the
Demolition Man.
movie. Got it. I thought this was just of
Yeah.
your own volition.
yeah. No, we go get burritos tomorrow actually though.
Ooh.
Now you've been to Chaparro, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
I went to another place called Mucha Muchacha that's new, and it was not good, and it was very expensive, and they put mashed potatoes on a fucking taco. It was disgusting, and I paid €9 for it.
Where was
for
this place
3. It's over by, do you know where Lagari is?
It sounds super. Oh, actually, yeah.
Kind of like off the Ufer.
Yeah. Yo, okay. No.
It was sad.
Yeah.
That's criminal.
I know, and they've been renovating this place for a long time, and it's really nice inside. But I was just like, why is it this expensive? And my friends that did get meat got like this much meat on their tacos. It's not worth it.
Even though I do have to admit, when you said like mashed potatoes, I started thinking about like one of my favorite things that was in the A back then. There was this place that had like this sort of like Mexican, sort of like Southwestern, like sort of like fusion.
Tex-Mex?
No. It was like a mix between like a sort of Southwestern and steakhouse and Mexican. So they had everything crazy fresh. And they had like a crazy like tequila and mezcal selection.
Oh yeah.
Like so basically like before like Food Networks and cooking shows were like all the rave.
They were doing it.
Yeah, they were like one of the first places in all of Atlanta to be featured on one of these shows.
Yeah.
And so they were featured like twice, once for the food and the second time for the tequila selection, because apparently they have the biggest tequila section in the Southeast.
Really?
Or the States is one of them. Yeah. So like I love that place. Anyway, I say all of this to say they had this one dish that was like this sort of like fresh sashimi pan-seared tuna with like sesame oil, and then like it was so beautiful, and then they put it like on top of these sorts of this mashed potatoes and like grilled like asparagus with like wasabi drizzled on top of it. And yo, it was like so beautiful. Like that
You
was
start
like one
crying.
of my favorite things like ever. And then yo, like the salsa and everything was always like crazy fresh. And like they even like had like this sort of like curried like mussels and everything. I don't know. Basically,
You miss
yeah.
that?
yeah,
Because I do.
yeah, it was.
I miss good
Honestly,
food.
That was something that was like so magical.
If you want good food,
Yeah.
I know good food. Like, you just look at my body.
Where? Here in Berlin?
Yes.
Like what?
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
that was so
What
loud.
do you want to know? I tell you.
I've been to like 3 good restaurants here. And all of them.
Where?
Okay, so the ramen place by my flat is really yummy. It's called Ult. And then I really like Spindler, which is on Maybach-Ufer.
Oh yeah, that's a spot. They actually
It's fancy.
do have like a nice. That's the only place I could go to for a eggs Benedict.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then
Yeah.
you've got 2 barbecue places. You have Lino's, which is also in Betting, and the guy's from Texas. And it's really good. It's expensive.
How is it really though? Another thing too though, yo, about like the barbecue spots here is I don't eat like beef or pork.
Uh-huh.
So it's hard for me to find somewhere.
But they have
that actually
non-beef
have
and
chickens.
pork. They have
Oh, they
chicken
do?
and stuff, and it's really good. And same thing at Southern Vittles. You can get chicken and waffles, and
Oh,
they
actually,
have
I
like
love like
mac and cheese. It's so good.
Son,
I went with my flatmate for Valentine's Day, and we were just like,
Yo,
there are all
so
these
actually,
couples.
The thing is, like over at like Southern Vittles, I actually love the dude that does that.
Yeah.
I actually went like maybe like 2 or 3 times, and I always wanted to go back more. But dude is like from Kentucky, right?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, I've been to Oakland once, because I was like, I'm from Oakland. He's like, a beautiful city. And I was like, oh my God. I was worried about speaking German when I came in here.
No, exactly. I actually went there with like another friend, and I think in the beginning I was trying to like speak German, but then somehow it came out that
He's like, hi, I'm Brian. You're like, oh, okay.
yeah, I was like, where you from? Kentucky? From Atlanta.
Yeah, you're like, I'm good.
And he was like, well, you know that what we make is authentic.
Good luck.
That shit.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I've been unimpressed by food in Berlin.
Religiously.
Man, intelligible. For real.
Well, like, what do you eat?
I eat everything. I mean, like, I don't discriminate on food at all. Like,
I do say that, like, the Lebanese food here, Turkish food here is fucking amazing. We don't have stuff like that in the
Indian
States.
food here,
Yeah.
I've had a few places of Indian food, but nothing I've ever been like, this is really, really good.
Honestly, when I ever having Indian here, I don't really like it. It's well, I mean, I'll like it, but it's like I'm going just to get something that makes me feel like maybe I'm eating Indian, but I don't feel like it's actually
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
good, basically.
like, I know a couple places around here that are very, very good. I mean, like, legit good.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh, I'm down.
I want to see a list.
Yeah.
I'll post it.
All I
There's
eat.
so many. It's all around my neighborhood. Like, I have an Italian place that literally the family is from Sicily.
There's good Italian. I
Yeah,
keep going back
okay.
on my statement where I'm like, food here sucks. I'm like, okay, there's one place. No, like I found like good tapas here. I found good Italian
Tapas,
here.
I know one literally. It's called Vino y Mar. It is on the street that I live on.
Yeah.
And I tell you, every time I go there, it keeps getting better and better and better and better. They have not failed me a single time.
Ooh, okay.
That's how good it is.
I might have to
I'm
like
down.
try that one actually. How come you never invited me over there?
Anyway,
Now I'm insulted.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sushi, of course, in Ulanstrasse, it's
Oh yeah.
Okay, but the
Oh.
thing is, like, okay, when I first moved here, though, I do have to say that, like, the sushi, like, was just. I was very, like, not excited. Like, honestly, whenever I went to, like, a restaurant, and even if it was, like, more expensive, it was always just.
Lackluster.
I felt like I bought it from, like, a Sitco.
Eh.
Exactly. So, like. No, I mean, but that's the way it was in Berlin. Like when I first like moved here, I feel like now there's a couple of places where I can like check out.
Can I tell you a story?
Please.
Okay, once I had a trial shift at. I worked at the Irish pub at Hackisher Markt for 2 years, and they were the darkest years of my life.
Oh yeah.
It was horrendous, and I hated everything. I cried at work very often. But before that, I had a trial shift at Sam, which is at Schönleinstrasse, the Korean barbecue place.
Okay.
And they were like, okay, what you need to do is your first task is to change the gas canister on a hibachi thing at a table. And I'm like, cool, I don't know what I'm doing. And so they had me do it, and it exploded into a fireball into my face, and then I lost my eyebrow. And then they didn't call me back. And I the family was like, oh, who was sitting there was like, oh my goodness, are you okay? And I was like, do I still have skin on my face? Like, I did it because it just happened so quickly. And then I went to the bathroom, but I just like picked off parts of my singed bangs and cried, and then walked out. And they never called me again. And then as I walked out, Kilkenny called me, and they're like, hey, do you want to come in for a trial shift? I was like, don't say that word, I'm triggered. But then like anytime for the next like 2 months, anytime anyone would turn on a lighter around me, I'd be like, ugh. It was crazy. I was like, in the States, I would have sued for so much money. And then here, they're just like, bye. Off with ya.
Yeah. No,
So I can't go there.
yeah, that's a completely different thing here. Now, I remember we did have to talk about the working in the Irish pub things. And we traded like stories about working in Irish pubs.
What a horrible place. Can
No,
I
it
get
is.
sued by them for defamation?
So what now?
Can I get sued by them for defamation if you
Like
release
pretty much
this?
at this point, I'm actually about to like put down the microphone and just like start talking.
Well, I
and,
also
like,
have
light
a
cigarette,
hell of
actually.
tea about them, so like
Yeah.
feelings mutual. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel better, like when I worked at the Irish pub, that's actually not too far from where you are. I realized that I could not come into work the next day because I was fantasizing a little bit too much about like
haggis.
hanging the yeah about hanging the new manager. Like basically, like there's like a sort of like basement area,
And you're like, yeah.
No, it was like already set out. So what was gonna happen was I was gonna take
Oh,
my
you
belt
had
off.
plans.
Oh no, this shit was about to happen. I was about to like take the belt off, right? And then I was gonna like swing it, and it was gonna like wrap around his neck, and I was gonna like hold it, and I was gonna like kick him in the back of like the chin, the kneecap, and then like,
It was done.
And then
Well,
he was gonna go to like the basement, and then he was gonna like fumble a little bit, and then I was gonna like.
These are
hang
very
him off
dark
of there.
thoughts, and I feel like
Yeah,
it's for the
sorry.
best that you didn't go back to work.
I didn't. Remember when we talked about self-control earlier?
Yeah, I'm glad you had it.
I'm proud of myself. Can I get a pat on the back? Nobody yet.
There you go. For not murder.
I mean,
Mazel
I'm
tov.
sure he's a bit more sturdy than that.
I
Give
mean,
the guy some credit.
yeah, I definitely have had some very bad managers here in Berlin, including myself. But
Hold on. So
it's
what
fine.
was it that happened? The worst experience ever?
Oh, just Kilkenny and working there and having like British stag parties come and like grope you, and then you
goddamn.
slap them, and then the anti-Semitic kitchen dude who would be like, can I get some ketchup? Be like, only if you suck my cock, and I'm like, you're disgusting. And he's like, are you wet? I'm like, literally never been drier. Gotta go. And everyone was horrible. And then the reason I quit was because these guys threatened to rape me because they owed me money, and I asked them to pay their bill, and then I punched one in the face, and I'm pretty sure like I heard like a snap in his eye socket, and I was like, it's time to go. And I told my boss, and he was like, we can't just kick people out. I was like, you
What the fuck you
can.
mean?
So I left.
Like you told him what he said. What you said. What he said.
Yeah.
And they didn't like have your back on that shit.
No, they don't care. No. So I was like, fuck this place. And then everyone I know has quit, I think.
So this is
Yeah.
this statement is very much in support of vigilantism.
Yeah, burn it down. What?
Yeah. What? Hey,
Well,
wait.
once like 2 years later after I quit, my manager called. He's like, "Hey, we're gonna have a busy weekend. Are you in Berlin?" I was like, "No, I'm not coming in there. You could not pay me 1,000. I would not go into that place for 1,000 euros. Literally, I might. No, I wouldn't. I would not. It's horrible. And yeah, don't go there if you come to Berlin.
Yo, but that shit is insane though.
And it's like
for them
7
to, let you
euros
get away
for a
that.
Berliner Kindle.
That shit is like.
A Guinness is €7.
You for real?
Yeah. And then these stag parties come in like, lads. Hey, nice tits. Love it. Yeah, I'm going to boff on the floor. And then they don't leave. They leave without paying.
So the management never tried to do anything about any of that?
No, they don't care.
God damn.
I'm telling you, they don't care. So this is why I quit, luckily.
Nah, yeah, it sounds like
Yeah.
if you need somebody to like help visualize
Murder.
like, yeah, I'm just saying. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm much happier now that I don't have to leave my home.
Yeah, yeah. So
So true. So sad. Okay, yeah, that's it.
yeah, but that's a bad place though. Nah, you need a cigarette.
Probably.
Yeah, that's a memory.